Hey folks, welcome back. I'm actually going to go outside the vehicle for a second. Welcome back to Maypole Farm, and I'm going to try something a bit different today. Now, some background. This was going to be what would have probably been my first proper sponsored video, but I'm a bit slow on the jumping on opportunities. I was a bit hesitant, and I missed the boat on this. So it's not a paid video. But if you think this is cool, that shouldn't stop you. Maybe go looking at this software. This is the Beam eye tracking software that's available on Steam, which just uses a webcam to do eye and head tracking. It is, yeah, that loud noise might have been my microphone arm moving. This is obviously not something that I use very often. If you guys actually think this is cool, I might try and get in contact with the company again. They reached out to me. I was really hesitant and slow in getting back to them, and in that time I kind of maybe lost the opportunity because they then haven't got back to me. So anyway, I'm gonna have a play with it anyway, just to see what you guys think and whatever. They gave me a free copy of this. I am getting nothing else out of this. Hence there's no promotional links or anything like that. I'm actually losing money on this because I had to go buy a webcam because I couldn't find my webcam that I had, and I'm not using my laptop, which has a built-in webcam. So yeah, yay for being hesitant and slow and all that stuff. Anyway, let's just jump into the Merlot, and basically, you know, I can kind of look around and do stuff. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I'm going to admit. And for someone with neck problems, it's kind of weird. And I maybe kind of have it set up not quite right because I have to look a bit lower than I would like to, having done the configuration. So bear with me one sec. Okay, I've redone the calibration, and that's maybe a bit better. And I've just noticed that if I move backwards and forwards from the camera, it picks that up as well, which is kind of awesome. This is all basic stuff that's built in to FarmSim if you use the app. So the only thing I'm going to change is and decrease the sensitivity a bit more, just because I find it's a little bit twitchy. That's just kind of my experience of using it. Yeah. And I guess that's kind of the benefit of not being paid to review this. And honestly, you'd have got an honest review from me anyway, because that's how we work here. The thing that I'm having to remember to change, I'm still playing on keyboard and mouse, obviously, because that's also how we work here, is that I don't need to use the mouse anymore, because yes, I use the keyboard to do the loader controls, so I can just play completely on keyboard, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Do I like it? I don't know yet, to be completely honest with you. That could be me because it's change, and as we all know, change is bad. The thing that I kind of like, yeah, we can make that work, is I can look not quite behind me, and I can reverse, and if I turn that way, I can kind of check that it's clear to turn around. Which is very cool. I already put some bales on the trailer because I wanted to have a little bit of practice without you guys watching. Now, I actually did that quite a while ago, in the real world. And again, not the MTV TV show, the actual real world. It was over the weekend, I think. Might have been Friday. Might have been Friday. So let's see if we can get these on the trailer and drop down. Look at that. I'm a bale loading wizard. And then I forgot to look behind me to reverse. Let's ignore that, folks. Let's ignore that. I am a bale loading wizard. Right, let's grab some more bales. So yeah, this is kind of cool because you can look and stuff. And if on my laptop, this works kind of good because it has the webcam just built in, and I can just use it. And on here, it's kind of good. So the downsides for me, when I look over to check on OBS, which is what I'm doing now, I'm not looking where I'm going, which as a content creator is not so great. But for 90% of you, 90, I would say 99% of you, but given my farm sim audience is relatively small, and I know at least one or two of you are actually content creators, then I can't actually say 99% of you because it's not that small a number. So yeah, apologies for things just kind of jumping around. It is the nature of trying to use something like this and not regularly using it. Yeah, so I think it could be fun. I got to admit, my neck is very tired today. So, and this would be, for me, one of the potential downsides of something like this is that, someone who suffers with, where are those bales? It kind of feels very unnatural to try and look behind you as well. As someone who suffers with neck problems, I'm in a hotel tonight, and that means I've got a shitty chair anyway. Moving my head around so much sucks. So that is a downside of something like this. But also my neck is kind of tired because I've been to the gym today. And that does have... How far? I've got loads of room. Clear behind! It does have a negative impact on how my neck feels. So, yeah. It's kind of one of those things that it does affect my gaming experiences. It's why I don't often game on a wheel. One moment. Just go out the cab. Yeah, because I'm moving my shoulder. I'm trying to relax my shoulders for a moment. And you guys remember that I brought the whole wheel and joystick setup to do, well, not for some farming content. And I used it back when Kartek and I used to do the diddly squat thing, because we used to record on a Friday after work. It was after work for me anyway, generally. And I would usually do that on the wheel. But the problem I had with that, and it was a problem when I was playing PMR a lot on the wheel, is that was quite tiring on my battered, broken old neck. That's about over there. I quite like the being able to easily look round. But yeah, I'm actually finding that my neck is really struggling with that. So we are going to go back to benefit of not actually being paid to promote this software. We're going to go back to some normal out of cab content for a bit. Yeah, and we're going to do that. Cool. Yeah, as a person with a older, slightly broken body that maybe asks a bit too much of their slightly broken body. Yeah, it's maybe not always perfect. And so one of the reasons that I was hesitant to do any kind of paid promotion of stuff was that I was a little bit Why was I hesitant? Because I was hesitant. That's a very circular argument you've got there, sir. I know. Was about the fact that I was a little bit worried that I was not going to be super positive about stuff because of issues like my neck problems. You know, so I don't know. Anyway, we carry on, and we just get bail stacked. So yeah, that was the Beam eye tracking software, which I am not being paid to promote now because I was slow on the. I'm a bit slow on the uptake, folks. That won't surprise some of you. I'll make the comment so you don't have to. Yeah. Anyway, it's time to go on to our, if you're in the UK, regular rant about the weather. It is currently 4 billion freedoms. I have done the conversion so you don't have to. I have checked that conversion. My maths is correct. The temperature is exactly 4 billion freedoms. It certainly is in my hotel room. If you don't believe me, you can come and do the maths yourself. Yeah, we are in the midst of yet another heatwave in the UK. Whoever says global warming doesn't exist can come and sniff my sweaty. And if you're going to pay to do that, then I need to set up an OnlyFans. Anyway, yeah. Global warming appears to be a thing. It is getting increasingly common. It is very warm. In a momento. Right. Sorry, it was just replying to some messages. And I've somewhat lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, it's 4 billion freedoms in here. Yeah, so I'm in a hotel that has no aircon. That is not uncommon in the UK for older hotels. And the hotel I'm in is based in essentially an old English country manor house. So, yeah, I have a fan running. Which you may or may not be able to hear. I don't think you'll be able to because, you know, NVIDIA's modern noise cancellation techniques and all of that. There's also the fans from the GPU in my computer blasting away next to me because it's hot. So, yeah. And I'm sweating my off. But, hey, it's the joys of the UK, so yeah. I find it's quite a common question at this time of this kind of weather for people in countries where it's more common to have air conditioning for them to go, well, why don't you all just have aircon? And it's basically because this happens. Previously, this would happen for like a week or two of the year, and it's not cost efficient. Particularly as our houses are designed to hold heat in because traditionally the UK is a cooler country. And so what you want to do is retain heat. Our houses are made of materials that hold heat. Our houses are not made of paper and tissue, like our houses in some other countries, which typically are renowned for saying, or whose occupants are renowned for saying, well, why don't you just have aircon, boy? We make our houses out of more sturdy materials, and you know we do have air conditioning at home. We have some portable air conditioning units. They're not the most efficient. They cost quite a lot to run. That is another problem in the UK. Electricity is expensive, but we choose to run them because A, our dog hates hot weather, and we care more about him than the electricity bills. B, Mrs. D doesn't do well in the heat, and with her health problems, keeping it cool helps her. And 3, I don't like being too hot to think. So, I quite like having the aircon as well. And D or 4, I've lost track. It's just nicer. Yeah, the problem is with the type of buildings that we have. So last night, it wasn't super hot yesterday in the UK, but it didn't particularly cool off in the evening. And yes, I'm going to spend the whole video talking about the freaking weather, maybe. Anyway, this may be an interesting. I don't know if this is interesting or not, but it's what's in my head at the moment, folks. So, anyway, yeah, it was quite warm. I ran the aircon unit until we went to bed. Within 20 minutes, it was uncomfortably hot in the bedroom because the house was hot. And so it reheated the room. You cool a little bit of the house, but you have it surrounded by a building which is retaining a lot of heat. That's going to get transferred. It's just the nature of things. So it was kind of pointless. But it is what it is, We did not have it as bad as our European mainland neighbours. My boss was on holiday last week in Germany, and he popped back into the office today. He's on his way towards retiring, and currently he works 3 days a week. It's kind of common where I work that as you approach retirement, quite a lot of people will generally start to slow down. And he currently works 3 days a week, but he was near work and for some reason decided to call in. I think because he was a little bit nervous that where he'd been off for a couple of weeks, with some significant things happening at work. The peasants might have been revolting. So we decided to call in and check we were all still there and happy worker units. But he was saying that it hit into the 40 plus Celsius range, which I believe is just over 4 billion freedoms. I think it might be approaching 5 billion freedoms, approximately. It's a lot of freedom, so yeah, it's very warm over there. Whole chunks of mainland Europe have had insanely hot temperatures. Again, I don't think a lot of the mainland, a lot of the more northern bits of the mainland have air conditioning. Once you get into the southern areas of the mainland, yeah, because they tend to have hotter temperatures. But depends where you go. And the change in climate or climate change is meaning that some of these countries are experiencing unusually warm weather. And it kind of sucks. So, yeah, so we've got in the UK, I think we're due a week of it. I'm kind of hoping it's going to go away after that, because we're away next week I think we're away for 2 nights. It's the teenagers' graduation, and for economy reasons, I'm pretty sure the hotel we're in again does not have aircon. I'm not sure Mrs. D has booked it, and I'm not sure. It's a chain where it's kind of 50-50, depending on the age of the branch or whatever of hotel in this chain, it may or may not have aircon, and we've got a room for the three of us, and if it's that hot, it's gonna suck with three of us in there. It's gonna suck. But oh well. I'm kind of hoping it's cooled down a bit for that. I think the Friday night after that, we're then out for the night, maybe the week after actually. But, so yeah, going out to music venue when it's that hot also, I think, would kind of suck. So you might have noticed I also have the time slowed down. That's because I'm doing a faffy job, particularly because I was going to be faffing with the head eye tracking thing. And our cows are out of food. That's bad. That's very bad. Because I was going to be faffing with the eye tracking thing. I didn't want to kind of have things go badly wrong. As it is, the pain in my neck meant that it didn't work out. So yeah. And so that was part of the reason why I was a little bit twitchy on the old taking the paid stuff to promote things that I wouldn't really use routinely in my gameplay, and B, was a little bit nervous as to how well I could represent, because if my neck starts hurting in the middle of it, I'm gonna then struggle to use it because I'm in pain. And those of you that have met me in real life, and there are some of you, let's see if we can do a little bit. I want to try and put the straps on. I'm going to put the straps on outside. Straps on. Right, let's see if we can drive back to the farm in first person view with the camera. But yeah, those of you that have met me in real life will know that sometimes when... Oh, there's another bale. I will stick that on the forks. It'll be fine. Will know that when... that if I get headache... No, I can't do that. Screw it. When I talk, I tend to move my head around a little bit. So yeah. When I get... like in pain from like headaches and stuff like that, get a little bit grumpy, and that would end up coming across in the video, I believe. But anyway, so we've got 181,000 litres of hay off of that field. That's pretty darn nice, particularly given our problems with cow food. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that. So we'll go. We've got two things we need to do. We need to feed the cows. And I think we have a severe lack of tractors down at the farm. So we should address that. And next month we will also have another grass field to cut. And I think we'll probably hay that as well. I think that's a technical farming term. So, I should address some ranting I did in the last video. I was ranting away about the new Sky DLC, and about the fact that power harrows cannot act. A power harrow attached to a seeder does not allow you to effectively direct drill. I have been educated by Pedro, and one by someone in the Giants Partner Discord, because it was being discussed in there as well. And so let's get back down to the farm with this guy and our spare bale. So what I've learned is that a power harrow is only really good for doing seedbed preparation. And so it is intentional and correct that you actually need to prep the field beforehand. And so all of my ranting was my lack of knowledge, essentially, and I think probably a lot of farm sim players' lack of knowledge. And so the reason that it can work separately is that, and essentially I think it can only do light cultivation, is because detached from the seeder, it can sit a little bit lower in the ground and do some light cultivation work. And in reality, I think probably that light cultivation wouldn't get you through a harvested field. I'm extrapolating on that last bit. So ideally, you'd have cultivated your field first, and then you use the power harrow to just do seedbed preparation, which is why it can't touch a unprepped field. So I have learned, I have been educated. So yeah, that's why it's fully intended behavior, and it seems to be correct behavior and correct representation of the machines. So I stand corrected. I was indeed wrong. So yeah, we live and we learn, folks. Engineer, not a farmer. And there we go. So yeah, I've been watching more Clarkson's farm. It's been kind of cool seeing him learning about precision farming and some of the automated machinery that he picked up through being at Llama. That's been kind of fun. Obviously, I'm sure if you're super into your Clarkson's farm, you've probably watched all of those by now, but we haven't yet, so we're a little bit slow on that as well. You'll notice a pattern. Generally, I'm a bit slow. Anyway, let's bung you on there. I think we should probably unload the trailer first. So let's do that. Get back in there and get these unloaded. See if we can do it without too many accidents. Yeah. So, right. We are going to need to potentially get to the back of the trailer, or we could just improvise and adapt and overcome. And just grab it from the side. We'll see. We'll see. I will go back to running the game at proper time after this video. Just consider this one a bit of an experimentation. And sometimes, folks, experimentation is fun, you know? But change is bad, so how does that work? I don't know. Use your imagination, folks. Use your imaginations. Right, yeah, let's grab you. We'll just put you down to the side because we're going to need a bale to make food at some point very shortly. Let's just put you there. We're probably going to end up getting told off by red tape, but that's fine. It's all fine, folks. You know, honestly, I'm just happy that the computer's not had a hissy fit at me for being so hot. Yeah, right. In we go. In we go. I'm kind of tempted by some of the ready to harvest fields, and maybe we can pick up some contracts to grab a bit more crops. That'd be kind of cool. And a bit more straw, because I think we have either one or none bales. It's good English. Me failed English. That's impossible. We have one. Yeah, so more bales would be more gooder. Yeah, cool. Good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, next week, I suspect, and this will probably affect fans of beaver more than tractors. You back up. There probably won't be many videos of us being away, because I'm unlikely to, unless I have a bit of inspiration. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get like a bunch of stuff pre-recorded. So yeah, there's probably just going to be a few days of no content, because we're away, and then I'll probably need a day or so to recover from being away, because unfortunately we're going away with the in-laws, which is going to be like my idea of utter hell. But they, of course, want to see the teenager graduate. Although I don't think they're actually going to get to see her graduate, because I think we are limited on who can actually go in and attend. But, you know. Anyway. It is what it is. No. Guess it was going to happen eventually. Oh well. Hey, we managed. Hey, you see what I did there? I managed to load. Managed to load them all and unload half of them without any issues. So that's pretty freaking good, I think. And if you disagree, well, you suck. So, yeah. Your opinion is invalid. Well, yeah. Opinions are like those. And, you know, as I said before, some of you pay to see mine, so you're a bunch of freaks. Back to that OnlyFans thing again, aren't we? Oh. More fans would be good. Actually, aircon would be good, because fans don't really do that much. They just kind of stir the damp, soupy air or humid. I think that's the. I'm not going to run about temperature again. Let's not, folks. So, yeah. So I said about that I'd been to the gym. Let's talk about that, shall we? Do any of you care? I don't know. I have decided, and today was a bit of a blip, actually, because I was in the office and it's kind of hard to eat well in the office. But I have decided I am attempting to lose the 15 kilos I have gained since last September. For those of you that are metrically challenged, that is about 33 pounds. Rather a lot. Too much. So I'm probably not going to try and lose all of that, because the point in September where I was that light, I was really quite light, and it was really quite difficult to get that light. But I'd like to lose about 10 kilos of that, I think, of that kind of order. So yeah, I'm attempting to find my running zen again. That's sort of working. The hot weather makes that really kind of tricky, because running in hot weather sucks. And I'm finding it really hard to get up and out early, because hot weather really affects my sleep as well. So yeah. But we're trying, folks. Partly because quite a lot of my clothes don't fit anymore. I really don't want to go with the just buy fatter size clothes. Because, yeah. And so we are trying to be better at what I eat, and I'm trying to. So at the moment, I'm training for some sort of running event. It's an 8-hour timed thing. So how far I go will just depend on how fit I get. I think it's around Halloween, so it's quite a way off. So I've got a decent amount of time to get in shape. So at the moment, I'm just kind of focusing on trying to get somewhat fitter again. Rather than super worrying about running mega long distances. And I'm still trying to fix my screwed up shoulder, which is going really badly. Which reminds me, I need to do my physio after this, because I really suck at remembering to do the physio for my shoulder. But if I don't do it, it's probably going to take even longer to heal. So. But, again, it is what it is. I wonder, I probably use those as I mix the food. So let's jump into you and start mixing some food. And I think once we've fed the cows, I'm gonna call it a day. So awesome. Out you come, feed mixer. Right. So, and weirdly, we're at the point now where we're going to have more hay than silage. But I think we should preserve the hay because we are going to end up with a lot of silage. So let's stick with doing one bale at a time because we've still got silage bales up at the BGA, and we've got the 2 cornfields to chop still, and we should get another cut of grass. So I think we'll go for that. I'm gonna grab some. We do need to look out for actually root crop fields to harvest. I'm not going to put the straw in as I normally would because we're on to our last bale. So, oops, crash. I need to get some mineral feed actually at some point, but no, come on, let's find reverse. There we go. Good stuff. Let's go. Let's go. So I need to remember to feed the cow. Now we've got a few more cows and they're a bit bigger. They do seem to be monstering their way through the food. So I need to remember to find my words. And then I need to remember to feed them last thing at night and first thing in the morning, because otherwise we do seem to run out of feed. And red tape is going to get very annoyed with me continuously. So, but yeah, I think because we normally put a straw in. Instead of putting the straw in, I'm going to do 2 hay bales. Ooh. Or not. Grab you. There we go. To kind of balance out the silage a little bit. There we go. That'll do us. Guess who yet again forgot to do a thumbnail? Name begins with D and ends in disturbed. Okay, we could probably bung in a bit more silage. So let's do that. Grab 1 more silage bale. I would like to get them fed before the hour ticks over, because that minimizes the chance that we'll get a penalty. And before you ask, no, I did not watch the soccer. Because I cannot stand it. So it is Monday. The reason I am tired and did not sleep well is nothing to do with the fact that the World Cup was on last night. I did not stay up to watch the football. It holds 0 interest to me. Right. Let's now tip it, and I'm going to tip 20,000 in each, because as I said, I do need to feed them again before I skip time and sleep. So I may as well just put some in, and then I can speed time back up and start doing the things that we need to do properly. So yeah, the cows now have food. Where do we sit with red tape at the moment? So water contamination, we're fine. So forestry, we were balanced this month. Animal conditions, we are okay. Animal bedding, we are okay. So we can't spread slurry between September and December. I need to remember that. Slurry management, we are okay. Where are we with our slurry stores? Okay, we need to keep an eye on that. Manure management, we are okay because that's all going up to the BGA. Crop rotation, I assume we're okay. Animal spacing, this shows how many violations. Requires animals to have enough space. So we have 0 animal space violations. Okay. I'm not sure what this chart is telling me, folks. I'm assuming if that number, yeah, I'm not sure what that one is telling me. And looks like we maybe got away with that, but I guess we will see next time. So yeah, grants. We'll find it in September if we're going to get our silo. And contracts, harvesting, spinach, no thank you. Barley, overfield 82, no, it's not what I want. But we might take it anyway. But that is going to be it for now. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully the little look at that eye tracking software was vaguely interesting. I'm guessing some of you will have seen it from FSG using it. He may have done a better job of showing it off, but you know, for me it was just kind of an interesting little aside and a little play, rather than being actively promoting it. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and see you all next time.